How old were you when you won the lottery?
17.
And what happened? Had you bought tickets before? Was it your first time? Talk us through what happened.
Literally on my way to work, first ticket, and I was just like...
It was your first ticket?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's luck.
Yeah. So, and I had never played it before. I never really knew anything about it. I just felt like I would just chance my luck. So I bought the ticket on the Tuesday for the Friday's draw, and I never checked it until the Sunday.
And then when you started to check it, you know, that moment when all the numbers are matching, how did you feel?
I don't know, I was a bit like, and I didn't believe it. Like, I was double checking it, and I kept going over it, and I ran to the shop, and I was like, have I won? Like, and the guy in the shop was like, I don't know, like, I need to phone the lottery. So then I went home and phoned.
And who was the first person you went to when you found out you won?
My mum was there.
Yeah.
So she was like in the living room, but she was like in disbelief. She was like, "Are you sure you've got it right?" So like she was like, "Are you sure you're actually going to phone them and ask them that?" Yeah. And I was like, "No, I swear." Like.
So when you do win the lottery, I believe a machine kicks in, doesn't it? You suddenly get on this conveyor belt of sort of advisors, and so what happened next? They came to your house, I think.
So I had met up with a few folk from Camelot, someone from the bank, literally so many folk within a couple of days, and it was just a bit madness. Like I had like journalists and stuff like at my door. Like it was just all madness, and that was just like the first process.
But was there like chronic spending initially? Like initially was there loads of like, I've got a card, I'm going out spending?
Like I just wanted so many handbags. Like there was a Louis Vuitton bag that I was saving for at the time, and I was like, I'm just going to go and buy it now and blow my wages, because I knew that I was coming into that money.
Because I can relate to your story so much. Obviously, I didn't become a millionaire, but going into a soap opera at 17 years old, you know, money. I had advice, which was fantastic from a lot of people within, obviously, at ITV were brilliant, but mainly Steve Halliwell, who played my Uncle Zach, because I was literally going into all these designer shops with, the, you know, Dior, everything, and I felt like Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman. I had all these designer handbags, and I felt great, but I needed someone to say, whoa, stop spending, stop. And Steve literally said, give me your purse. He got my credit card and he chopped it in two, and he said, one day you'll thank me for this. So I'd like to think that you had someone like Steve.
Luckily I had like really good family, so they were saying like go and splash a bit, can have a bit of fun with it.
Yeah.
Don't let it hold you back too much, and then.
But you spent quite a bit, didn't you? I mean, you had quite a few cars. You bought a Range Rover, I think, a BMW. Look, that's. You went on holiday, so you were sort of splurging quite a bit. Did anybody within your family say, "Look, come on, this has got to last you for the rest of your life, this money"?
Like my whole family as well were like, "Don't be stupid with it." Like, you've read a lot of stories about other lottery winners, and I knew I never wanted to be like them. My family were just like, you do yourself proud anyway. Like, they were just trying to keep me on a straight and narrow.
Sorry,
no, you go ahead.
Can I just ask you, because I mean, obviously, to me, it sounds like you've done all the things that anybody who would win the lottery would go and do. Yeah. You'd buy all the things. You'd have the Julia Roberts Pretty Woman moment. Yeah. But you've said that actually you kind of wish you'd never won it, and it's actually made you quite lonely and sad.
Like, I never realised how difficult it would be. I thought, like, everything was just going to be amazing, like...
And everyone would be pleased for you.
When in actual fact, like, at times, it's completely different to what you expect it to be like.
Yeah.
So there is a part that is, like, going shopping with all the handbags and having all this money, and then there's times where it's just completely the opposite.
But there'll be a lot of people listening right now and thinking, well, you don't expect us to feel sorry for you, surely?
I know, and to an extent, like I have had a lot of hate on Twitter, and I can relate to a lot of people's problems, because before winning the lottery, I was in a similar situation where I was making ends meet, I was working in a normal office job, do you know what I mean? So I can relate to some of them.
I think where a lot of sympathy went for you was that it was in the papers that you were going to sue Camelot for...
allowing you to win.
Allowing you to win, which I think is where people went, well, if money ruined your life in the first place, why do you want more money suing Camelot? So I think that's where the sympathy... So what's the story, what's the truth behind that?
So what I had said was that me phoning up the lottery and saying, oh, I think 16's too young, I think you should up your age to 18, they were never going to be like, all right, Jane, that's great advice, we'll up her age. So what I had done was I had only spoke to, like, a lawyer. I was just wanting to seek legal advice, just to get my point out there. But because, like, I've had like it's went so far out there. Like I'm not even going to have to go any further because I feel like I'm being listened to now, and I feel like people are actually listening to the difficulties.
So you're not going to sue now?
No.
Good.
So
I just want to very quickly, Camelot, because we have to give them right of reply. They said that they take duty of care to winners very seriously. A dedicated winners advisor visited you, arranged private banking, supported you through the publicity that you chose. And they also say on the issue of the age, which I think is a good point, but anyone over the age of 16 can play the National Lottery, and that is set by the government back in 1994, nothing to do with Camelot, so that would be a matter for Parliament.
And can I quickly ask you, Jane, literally just as we're about to finish, if it does make you that unhappy, a lot of people would say, why don't you give the money away and start again?
I know, like, I have had so many folks saying that. I'm not saying it is completely unhappy, because there is parts of my life that are good, and there's days where like I wouldn't change anything. I'm just saying there is days where I'm upset and it does get on top of me. But like in the future, I do want to have a family, and I have got family now. Do you know what I mean? So I just want to be able to provide support for them, and I don't ever want to be like, oh.
Very
like,
good. And my advice, go to college.
Yeah.
Do what you would have done before you won the money.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We wish you all the best with it.